Hello everyone, I want again to welcome all of you to this other lesson. Remember, we are still discussing about types of interpreters, and we have already discussed about three. We talked about the medical interpreters, whereby we said these are types of interpreters, professional of course interpreters that participate in interpretation during medical events. Number two, we talked about legal interpreters. These are interpreters that participate in either law making process, in court hearing, trials, among others. The last one we have talked about, of course, in the last lesson, we talked about the sign language interpreters, and that's the area I said that's where we all belong, unless you have an added advantage of another profession that we have mentioned. Maybe you are a medical doctor by profession. Now that you are a sign language interpreter, you can interpret in that event because you have the terminologies. Maybe you are a lawyer by profession. Now that you know sign language, you can be able to interpret in the court processes. But for us, the sign language interpreters, those of us maybe who did not go to school, maybe we are school dropouts, maybe we only went up to Form 4, we don't have any other specialization, or we have, but it's not related to either legal or medical events, then we are definitely the sign language interpreters. And our major role, I said, that will only focus on ensuring that the deaf community and the hearing community are linked up. Of course, using sign language or use of signed exact English or use of signed English. So that's the area of specialization we have talked about in the last lesson, and that's where, and I still emphasize, where we all belong. In this lesson, I want us to talk about conference interpreters. Usually fluent. These are types of interpreters who are fluent in more than two languages. Maybe you know English, you know sign language, you know Swahili, you know other languages that can be used in the conference. You qualify to be there as a sign language interpreter. So conference interpreters, remember, are highly skilled. These are highly skilled people and are commonly found, of course, at the United Nations doing simultaneous interpretation. And in our country, especially when you go to refugee camps, you'll meet them there, you'll see them there. So these are people who do who carry out events or interpretation that involves different types of conferences, of course involving so many people from outside the country or within the country, but they speak different languages. So you are able to understand as a conference sign language interpreter, so that you are able to carry out the communication between, of course, the people in the event, meaning the hearing and the deaf community, so that you link them up. So remember, we have said that conference interpreters are highly skilled. Don't go there if you are not highly skilled, because you'll be looking for embarrassment. So make sure you stick to your area of specialization as an interpreter to be able to carry out your assignment appropriately. See you in the next lesson.